love movies, so here are the movies that I watched last month and my thoughts on them. Hey Earthlings, hope you're all having a great week, and today I'm going to be talking about movies. So a few videos ago I introduced you all to my bullet journal, this little red book that I write and journal in. And one of the pages in my bullet journal is a movies page where I write down my thoughts on movies that I have seen that month. And so I thought maybe I could make it a monthly thing to go through all the movies that I've watched, seeing as I am in love with movies. So here we go. So in June I watched 8 movies, and the first one I'm going to talk about is called A Promise. So I gave this 2.5 hearts out of 5, and the main reason for this is it wasn't a great film. The concept was okay, it could have been better, it was a bit boring, nobody really spoke very much, it was all visual and people just looking at each other. But it did have Richard Madden in it, who's one of my favourite actors at the moment, and so that is basically why I watched it. It also had very good other actors in it, such as Alan Rickman. I also believe that it is a film that I would watch while studying. The next film that I watched is How to Be Single, which came out this year with Rebel Wilson, Dakota Johnson, and many other people in it. I thought this film was amazing. So this film got 3.5 hearts out of 5 because I really did like this film. There were a few bits that I was kind of a bit, oh, I don't know. I absolutely loved the ending and the fact that she really went out to find herself and she had to be on her own for a bit. I like that she didn't just jump into a relationship or go back to the previous relationship that she was in. I like that she went and did some stuff for herself. The only other thing I didn't like about this film was the fact that she couldn't undo her own zipper on her dresses and tops. I feel like any woman would be able to undo their zipper by themselves, but I do like her solution to not being able to do it when nobody is around. The next film that I watched is Spooks with Kit Harington in, which is mainly the only reason that I watched the film because I've been watching Game of Thrones and got a bit obsessed with Kit Harington. So the movie Spooks is actually come from the TV show Spooks. I thought this was a really good film. I gave it 4.5 hearts out of 5 because it was a good action film, storyline was entertaining, all the actors were quite good, and I actually quite liked it. It was interesting. The next film that I watched is a bit older, but it's called Baby Mama. I only gave this 3 hearts out of 5 for the reason that I wasn't really my cup of tea, but I don't know. It had Tina Fey and Amy Poehler in it, and they were both great in the film. They were very entertaining to watch. The storyline was good, but it just, I mean, wasn't really appealing for me. So the next film that I watched was the new Steve Jobs film with Michael Fassbender. I thought Michael Fassbender did quite a good job of being Steve Jobs, and I also thought that Kate Winslet did an amazing job. There are a few things that I don't like about this film. One, I don't like that most of the things that actually happen in the film are not true. After looking up the actual story of Steve Jobs after seeing the film, I actually found out that most of the plot and the main storyline of the film actually never happened. I also really liked the idea of it being done in 3 stages, showing the behind the scenes before he stepped out in front of a crowd to show the new product. The next film that I watched is one that I actually really liked. It might be one of the top films for this month, and it is called Brooklyn. It's a new film. If you haven't seen it, you definitely need to go watch this. It is such a cute film, and the storyline was really good. I gave this 5 out of 5 because I really couldn't fault it. It was a good storyline, good acting, it kept me entertained. There were a few little plot twists and things that you were like, oh no, is she gonna do this or is she not? And not to mention it was just a really cute story. I loved every minute of it. Not to mention I absolutely loved nearly every piece of clothing that she wore because 50s clothing is beautiful. There's only 2 films left. The next one that I went to see at the movies, my friends. I went to see Me Before You. Now, I'm actually going to be making a completely separate video on this because I've read the books and I have so much to talk about these films and the difference between them. And the last film that I saw was The Danish Girl, and I thought that it was quite an amazing story and an interesting storyline, and it was something that was quite interesting for the time period to know that they actually did this, and that this actually happened. I didn't even know that transgender, or actually going through the procedures to change your gender, happened in the 1920s and earlier. I thought it was more of a recent thing for them to actually go through the procedures of the change. So it's quite interesting, and Eddie Redmayne did an amazing job of becoming a woman, and again, all the acting was amazing, and so I really liked this. This got 3.5 stars out of 5. So that is all the movies that I've seen in the month of June. I hope you enjoyed that. But before we go, here is Ludo's shenanigans for this week. So I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, comment, share and subscribe to see it whenever I upload a new video. And I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you when I see you. Later, Earthlings.